The Generals of the Yang Family, Chapter 24.
So, when you think about a high-stakes heist, your mind probably jumps straight to, like, meticulous preparation.
Right, absolutely. The classic movie setup.
Yeah, exactly. You picture the stolen blueprints spread across a table, everyone syncing their watches, the highly trained crew.
Right, where everyone has their exact mark down to the millisecond.
Exactly. Because a modern heist story is entirely about controlling the environment, isn't it?
It is. I mean, the underlying philosophy there is that every single variable is theoretically accounted for long before anyone even steps foot inside the vault.
But see, when you step back into the world of ancient literary heists, those blueprints are just completely thrown out the window.
Totally. It's such a wild text.
It really is. We're trying to figure out how a disastrous infiltration turned into this, like, absolute masterclass in psychological manipulation.
Because it really relies on sheer, unadulterated chaos.
Right. That's our mission today. Exploring how a cornered operative basically weaponizes human psychology just to survive.
And to understand that, you have to look at the operative in question, our protagonist, Mengliang.
Right.
And, to understand the gravity of his situation, you really have to understand his objective. He's searching for the remains of his fallen leader.
Commander Yangye.
Exactly. And you have to remember, in the context of the Song Dynasty military, recovering a fallen commander's bones, it's not just some administrative task.
No, it's huge.
It's deeply tied to the whole cultural foundation of filial piety, honor, and ancestral respect.
Right. Leaving a commander's remains in enemy soil would be an unthinkable disgrace.
A spiritual and national disgrace, absolutely.
So the stakes for you as the listener, to keep in mind, they are massive. Mengliang is on this covert mission, right? He's wandering around this place called Huyan Valley.
This guy's the lowly woodcutter.
Yeah, just looking for this grave. But before he can even get a lay of the land, he hits this catastrophic, inciting incident.
Right, the old barbarian.
Yes, he just bumps into this old local guy who casually informs him, like, oh, hey, you're way too late.
Which is just, it's devastating for the mission.
Because Empress Xiao, who's the ruler of the rival Yuzu territory, she actually dug those bones up a month ago.
Right, and moved them deep inside her own territory to a place called Hongyang Cave.
Okay, let's just unpack this for a second. Mengliang is instantly thrust into an impossible situation.
Because whatever rudimentary plan he had is completely shattered.
Right. This isn't a quiet recovery mission in the woods anymore. The objective is now locked inside a hostile royal capital.
He has no crew, no intelligence network.
Zero prep time.
And he's just making it up as he goes along.
But he can't just go home empty-handed, right? So he decides to basically walk right into the enemy capital.
So straight into the lion's den.
But to understand how he actually pulls this off, we have to look at his tactics. Like, to get past the city gates of Yuzu, he needs a cover identity.
A rock-solid one.
Yeah. And on August 23rd, he spots his opportunity. He strikes up a conversation with this fisherman.
And learns the guy is heading into the capital for a very specific reason.
Right, a highly lucrative one. He's delivering fresh fish for Empress Xiao's birthday.
Which happens to be the very next day.
August 24th, exactly.
And from a tactical standpoint, I mean, this is the perfect infiltration vector.
How so?
Well, it provides a legitimate time-sensitive reason to bypass border control. Ancient cities relied heavily on bureaucratic tokens.
Right, passports.
Exactly. And this fisherman possesses an official ivory identification tally.
A VIP passport carved out of ivory.
Right.
But see, the way Mengliang acquires that passport really sets the tone for everything, because he tricks the fisherman, murders him with a single stroke of his blade, and just strips him.
Takes the clothes, the tally.
And the fish. And the terrifying part is how smoothly it works. He just walks up to these heavily fortified gates.
Flashes the stolen ivory tavern.
Yeah, guards wave him right through like he's just a sanctioned birthday vendor.
Which, shows this really dark pragmatism early on. The moment a boundary presents itself, Mengliang just eliminates whatever is standing in front of it.
Right, but getting past the guards, that's just the mechanical part, right? The real challenge is the psychological boundary he has to cross the next morning.
Oh, the royal audience.
Yes. The sun comes up, it's August 24th, and Mengliang is summoned to personally present his gift to Empress Xiao.
Talk about high stakes.
He's standing in the middle of a hostile court, completely surrounded by enemies, offering up these stolen fish. But there's a glaring problem.
The fish.
The fish look terrible.
Yeah. They are small, the color is off.
They look incredibly unfresh. And Empress Xiao takes one look at this offering, and she is immediately suspicious.
As she should be.
Right. She demands to know how a supposedly premier vendor dares to present something so subpar to royalty.
And you have to consider the power dynamics here. Insulting an empress on her birthday, that's a fast track to execution.
Totally.
The natural human instinct here, I mean, what 99% of people would do is drop to their knees.
Grovel for mercy.
Right, invent an excuse about bandits or bad weather ruining the catch.
But Mengliang goes the exact opposite direction. I mean, for anyone listening, if you've ever tried to bluff your way through a mistake at work, you know it takes nerve.
Yeah.
But he takes it to a lethal extreme. This is like a high-end chef serving you a burnt piece of toast and convincing you it's like rustic char.
That's a great way to put it.
He looks the Empress dead in the eye and spins this wild tale. He's like, these aren't normal fish. They're phenomenally rare.
River caught, but pool kept.
Right, exactly. He blames the sudden summer heat for the color, but insists, with total conviction, that the taste is this hidden, exquisite delicacy.
It's really a phenomenal study in the psychology of deception.
Why does she buy it, though? It's such an obvious lie.
Because Mengliang intuitively understands that apologizing is an admission of guilt.
Ah, apologies project weakness.
Exactly. Instead, he leans in. He attacks her vanity. He manipulates her desire for exclusivity.
Because royalty wants things only they can appreciate.
Right. By framing these ugly slices as a misunderstood delicacy, he makes her feel like she's part of an exclusive club.
And she completely falls for it. She laughs, tells him he makes an excellent point, and orders him to stay in the city until after the festival for his reward.
He turns a botched delivery into a royal sanction.
He's officially a protected guest.
Yeah.
And that night, the city throws this massive banquet. The source text gives this vivid picture of the Liao court's decadence.
Oh, the music and the feasting.
Yeah, silk bamboo music everywhere. And the text specifically highlights a Yangye, or West River Moon, poem.
Which is a crucial detail.
Right, it talks about drinking away spring sorrow, getting thin from the beauty of flowers, and not leaving a single drop of wine in the cup until the moon sets.
That poetic inclusion establishes the whole environmental baseline. It's an atmosphere of total intoxication.
The entire military guard has basically stood down to party.
Exactly. You have the sharp contrast between a highly disciplined infiltrator operating quietly and this chaotic, drunken festival.
So Mengliang is just waiting for his moment to grab the bones. But then, the scope of the mission changes completely.
The tribute arrives.
Right in the middle of the celebrations. A diplomatic tribute from the Western Liang country. It's this legendary horse named Su Shuang.
And the visual details in the source are striking.
Piercing blue eyes.
Rain mane.
Curly hair threaded with red patterns. And it stands exactly 6 feet tall.
It's a monster of an animal.
Empress Xiao is thrilled. She claims it for her stables. And Mengliang, watching from the shadows, is just like, you know what? Taking the bones isn't enough. I want the horse too.
Which, you have to factor in the military context. A horse like that isn't just a pet.
It's a symbol of supremacy.
Right. Capturing an enemy's prized warhorse is a massive psychological blow to their prestige.
But he knows the bones have to come first.
The primary victim.
So, under the cover of darkness, while everyone is sleeping off the wine, he navigates out to Hongyang Cave,
Mound.
marked with a small stone reading, Commander's Mound.
Yeah.
He digs down, uncovers the stone box with Yang Lingang's remains, and packs them up.
Mission accomplished, right.
You'd think. But as he's slipping back into the shadows, the absolute worst-case scenario happens.
He gets caught.
Surrounded by a patrol of barbarian guards, caught red-handed.
And they know he doesn't belong. They accuse him of being a Song Dynasty spy.
I mean, they have him standing over a desecrated royal grave. But instead of fighting, Mengliang invents an entirely new persona on the spot.
Shorty Zhang.
Yes. He claims he's not a spy. He's just a poor fisherman named Shorty Zhang.
He says his father brought the rare fish, and the Empress invited them to the banquet.
Right, and he claims his elderly dad drank too much royal wine, died from the shock, and he had to cremate him. So he's just digging to bury his dad's ashes.
And then he bursts into pitiful tears.
Wait, hold on. I have to push back on this. For everyone listening, think about this. The elite royal guards of a fortified capital caught a guy digging up a grave at night.
With a box of bones.
And they just buy a crying fit. How does a story about his dad partying too hard with the Empress actually work on train security?
I know, it sounds preposterous in a vacuum.
Oh,
But if you break down the mechanics of cognitive overload, it's brilliant real-time engineering.
okay, how so?
Mengliang doesn't just tell a lie. He anchors his absurd story to verifiable facts.
What do you mean by anchoring?
Well, the guards know the events of the day. They know a fisherman arrived with a special delivery.
Okay, true.
They know there was a notoriously drunken banquet that evening.
Also true.
Mengliang takes those factual pieces and weaves his lie entirely out of them. It creates massive cognitive dissonance.
Because they want to dismiss it, but the foundation is demonstrably true.
Exactly. Their brains are struggling to separate the true context from the fake premise. And while their logic centers are spinning, he hits them with overwhelming emotion.
The crying and wailing.
Right. Human beings are biologically wired to respond to acute grief. When someone is wailing in agony, your brain shifts from interrogation mode to an awkward sympathy mode.
So they don't want to harass a grieving son.
The sheer volume of emotion short-circuits their critical thinking. They buy the emotion, which forces them to buy the lie.
And they let him walk away. That is incredible. He leverages their own humanity against them.
He really does.
So he gets back to his inn, stashes the bones safely, and now his attention pivots entirely to that 6-foot-tall, blue-eyed Sushuang horse.
But he can't just fake cry his way out of a royal stable.
No. This requires a huge shift in strategy. Up until now, he's been reactive, right? Opportunistic with the fishermen, improvising with the guards.
But now he has to actively architect a crisis.
Exactly. Here's where it gets really interesting for you listening. Mengliang disguises himself as a local barbarian, sneaks over to the stables, and he doesn't try to steal it.
He poisons it.
He laces the horse's beans with a powerful numbing agent. And immediately, this legendary super horse just shuts down.
Stops eating, energy plummets.
It looks like it's on death's door, and you can imagine the absolute panic among the royal staff.
Oh, heads would literally roll if a priceless diplomatic tribute died on their watch.
So the Empress is terrified. She posts a massive reward for anyone who can cure it. And guess who casually answers the call?
Mengli.
He strolls up and delivers this wise-sounding assessment. I can fix this, Your Majesty, but I must cure the symptoms before the root cause.
It's a masterclass in pseudo-professional jargon. Sounds authoritative, means nothing.
It really is. And his treatment is a total scam. He just secretly washes the numbing drug off the beans, feeds the horse, and boom, the horse eats. It's miraculously cured. This is exactly like a shady mechanic secretly unplugging your car's spark plug, watching you panic, and then charging a premium to fix it.
It's a completely manufactured crisis. In psychological terms, it's effectively Munchausen by proxy.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he intentionally induces an illness in a vulnerable subject solely to present himself as the savior, and it exploits her deepest anxieties.
Because when he brings the horse back, she doesn't see a fish vendor anymore. She sees a miracle worker.
He monopolizes the cure and makes himself indispensable to the ruler of the empire.
And the payout is astronomical. Empress Xiao is so thrilled she promotes Mengliang on the spot.
To chief administrator of Yanzhou.
A massive official title. She hands him ultimate authority.
Which is the culmination of his campaign. He has the bones, he has her trust, he has access to the horse.
But he still has to get a legendary horse and a box of bones out of a fortified capital without triggering an alarm.
And his solution is brilliant.
It's easily my favorite part. He goes to the Empress and says, "Thank you for the promotion, but the horse's blood vessels are still weak."
Right.
He claims that if he doesn't personally ride the horse around his new post in Yanzhou to condition it, the illness will return and the horse will die.
And the Empress, completely weaponized by her own anxiety, just agrees.
She just lets him take it. Think about the sheer audacity. He didn't break in and steal it.
He manipulated her into actively giving him her most prized possession.
He used her fear of losing the animal as the key to his escape. It's next level.
So he just saddles up.
He literally rides this massive blue-eyed horse out of the palace gates in broad daylight. Nobody stops him because he has direct orders.
Swings by the inn.
Grabs Commander Yang's bones and rides out of Yuzhou overnight, heading straight back to the Jiashan stronghold.
A flawless extraction in plain sight.
Now, the source material includes this poetic interlude, praising Mengliang for his immense loyalty and bravery.
Right, celebrating the return of the war horse and the sacred bones.
But it wouldn't be ancient literature without a chase sequence. Empress Xiao eventually realizes she's been played.
The sudden realization that the fisherman, the crying son, the vet, and the thief were all the same guy.
She is furious. She immediately dispatches her top general, Xiao Tianyu, with 5,000 light cavalry to chase him down like the wind.
Mengliang. He is roughly 200 miles away from Yuzhou, deep in enemy Liao territory. And he's desperately trying to make it back to the Song border, nearing a crucial checkpoint known as the Three Passes.
And just to clarify, this is not a short ride.
No, not at all. The text literally describes him sweating profusely with dust blocking the sky and banners completely hiding the sun behind him.
That paints quite a picture.
Right. He has the entire Liao army breathing down his neck because he just pulled off a massive heist. He stole a highly prized Liao asset, the legendary fine horse known as Sushuan.
Which means he is completely out of runway at this point.
Yeah, he's hit his limit.
The Liao commander, Xiao Tianyu, is relentlessly pursuing him. In military terms, Mengliang has severely overextended. I mean, think about the logistics of a 200-mile ride on horseback in heavy armor.
Oh man, that sounds exhausting.
It's grueling. He is fatigued, he is deep behind enemy lines, and he's carrying high-value cargo that makes him a massive target. If this were a simple foot race, his exhaustion ensures he gets caught and executed.
Right, game over.
But the saving grace here is that he's not operating in a vacuum. He is part of a highly organized, heavily structured military apparatus.
Because surviving the actual theft is really only half the battle, right? You need an extraction plan, or the goods don't matter at all.
Exactly. You need backup.
And this is where the tactical relay rescue comes in. The 6th commander of the Song forces, Yangye, gets word from his forward scouts that Mengliang is coming in hot.
And his reaction is brilliant here.
It is. Now, a lesser commander might just turtle up and, lock down the fortress, close the gates, and hope for the best.
Which is the natural instinct when an entire army is heading your way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the 6th commander doesn't just open the gates. He actively deploys 2 of his best generals, Yu Sheng and Zhao Zan, to intercept the pursuit miles ahead of the pass.
It's a flawless textbook execution of deep defense.
Deep defense.
Yeah, you don't wait for the enemy's momentum to crash against your static walls. You project your force outward to protect your retreating assets. It's really about controlling the space outside your fortress.
So Yu Sheng rides out, intercepts Mengliang, who is, by the way, practically falling off this stolen horse covered in sweat, and basically tells him, keep running to the pass, I've got the door.
I love that visual.
Right. Yu Sheng steps up, blocks the main road, and just hurls insults at the pursuing Liao commander, Xiao Tianyu.
A little psychological warfare to start things off.
Definitely. Xiao Tianyu threatens to trample the pass and leave no blade of grass alive.
Yeah.
But Yu Sheng just laughs him off and they clash. And they don't just trade a few, ceremonial blows. They fight for 40 grueling rounds.
We really have to pause and appreciate the sheer physical toll of that.
It's insane.
40 rounds of hand-to-hand mounted combat is an incredible display of endurance. I mean, you're managing a massive animal, swinging heavy weapons and deflecting blows.
All while wearing heavy armor.
Exactly. But the strategic genius here is that Yu Sheng isn't actually trying to win a duel. He is operating as the anvil.
The anvil.
Yeah, his entire job is to hold Xiao Tianyu in place, fixing the Liao forces in a static position so they completely lose all their forward momentum.
That sounds incredibly dangerous, though. By fixing Xiao Tianyu in place, Yu Sheng is essentially turning himself into a static target for an entire pursuing army.
It's highly risky, yes.
So how does he survive being the anvil without just getting crushed by the sheer numbers of the Liao troops?
Well, he survives because the hammer is already in motion.
Ah, okay.
While Yu Sheng is locking down the commander and absorbing all that kinetic energy, Zhao Zan sweeps in with light cavalry from the flank. He hits them from the side with a roar like thunder.
It's the perfect modern heist analogy.
Oh, totally.
Like, Mengliang is the thief who secured the goods, but Yu Sheng is the getaway driver who swaps in mid-chase. He turns his vehicle completely sideways on the highway to cause a massive pileup with the pursuing police cruisers.
And then Zhao Zan flanks them from the shoulder of the road.
Yes, exactly.
The tactical discipline required to pull that off is staggering. The Song defense takes a chaotic, desperate retreat and violently flips it into a coordinated ambush.
It's brilliant.
By attacking from the front and the flank simultaneously, the Liao troops are caught in a complete pincer. They panic.
Oh, big time.
The text explicitly notes that the northern Liao troops are routed so badly, they actually trample each other trying to escape the bottleneck, resulting in just countless casualties. It's a total collapse of unit cohesion.
But surviving the chase leaves them with a new problem. Bringing a stolen, highly recognizable prize horse into a static military camp completely changes the camp's operational security.
It absolutely does.
You aren't just hiding a fugitive anymore, right? You're harboring a geopolitical target, which forces the 6th commander into a very difficult corner.
Because Mengliang went completely rogue.
Exactly. He rode 200 miles into enemy territory without authorization. You'd think the commanding officer would immediately court-martial him for risking the entire border.
You really would.
But military discipline completely evaporates here, and I think it's because of the why behind the heist. What Mengliang actually brought back changes everything.
Exactly. The core motivation shifts the entire narrative framework here.
Because here is the big emotional reveal. Mengliang didn't just risk his life and provoke an international incident to steal a fancy horse.
No.
He went to Yuzhou to retrieve the skeletal remains of the Linggong, the revered old commander of the Yang family. He did it to bring peace to his mother, the Lingpo, so those bones could finally be buried in the ancestral tomb.
The stakes were so much deeper.
Yeah, the Sichuan horse was almost a secondary prize, a bonus he just grabbed along the way while completing this deeply personal mission. To the Yang family and to the military as a whole, these aren't just bones. They are the ultimate symbol of the state's failure to protect its heroes.
And that emotional underpinning, that intense filial piety, is so crucial to understanding the politics of the Song dynasty.
How so?
Well, in this historical context, retrieving an ancestor's bones isn't just a nice, sentimental gesture. Filial piety is a core pillar of political and moral legitimacy.
Ah, I see.
By bringing those bones back, Mengliang elevates his actions from simple insubordination to an act of supreme, undeniable, heroic devotion.
And the sixth commander recognizes this instantly. He thanks Mengliang for his great virtue. But he's also a pragmatist, right?
Highly pragmatic.
He recognizes the political goldmine he's sitting on with that stolen Liao horse. He doesn't keep it at the camp. He immediately sends the Sichuan horse directly to Emperor Zhenzong in the capital of Guangjing.
What's fascinating here is how quickly an unsanctioned, court-martial-worthy offense is swept under the rug the second it provides a public relations win for the capital.
It's all about the PR.
Exactly. The emperor isn't concerned with the massive operational risks Mengliang took or the sovereign borders he violated. He just needs the ideological win.
And the emperor is absolutely thrilled. He gets this legendary horse. He hears that 3 good generals have been captured or subdued.
Yeah.
And he immediately starts handing out rewards.
It's a huge victory lap for them.
Yeah. He sends the 8 princes, and they deliver silk, sheep, and wine to the Jiashan camp to reward the generals. They're essentially popping bottles, pouring wine, and eating mutton, celebrating this massive victory.
It perfectly illustrates how military success, especially when it aligns with core cultural values like filial piety, dictates political favor.
It really does.
The 8 prince even tells the emperor that the commander's loyalty deserves this exact reward. At the imperial court, the messy, bloody realities of a rogue border skirmish are totally sanitized into a pure, clean victory narrative.
A completely clean spin on it.
The emperor buys ideological loyalty from his generals with sheep and silk, even though it costs him his tactical security.
But hold on, isn't there a massive glaring blind spot happening at the capital here?
Oh, a huge one.
Like, they're throwing a massive party over some sheep and silk, but the Liao Empire isn't just going to let them steal their prized horse, slaughter their border guards, and publicly humiliate their commander. The Liao aren't going to just sit back, take the loss, and let the Song dynasty keep the PR win rates out.
You're entirely right to point that out, and it's a fatal blind spot for the Song court. In geopolitics, every single aggressive action demands an equal or greater reaction.
Always.
The Song capital is treating this like the final whistle of a sports match, but the Liao view it as an active declaration of war. The celebration at the Jiashan camp is incredibly short-lived because an urgent report comes in.
The reality check arrives.
Yep, the border is suddenly under massive threat.
The Empress Dowager of Liao is furious. She issues a direct, uncompromising command to retrieve the horse, and suddenly the Liao army is marching on Chenzhou.
It's fast and aggressive.
The escalation is immediate and brutal. And Mengliang, the guy who started all this, feels an immense amount of guilt. He steps up to the 6th commander and says, "This trouble is my doing. I will lead the vanguard to fight them."
Which forces the 6th commander to pivot instantly from a political celebration back to a war footing.
Talk about mood whiplash.
Right. But notice how he maintains his tactical discipline. He doesn't just send Mengliang out blindly to assuage his guilt. He formulates a highly structured, layered battle plan to absorb the Liao counterstrike.
It's meticulous. Really.
Yeah.
Mengliang goes first to take the initial shock of the Liao advance. Yu Sheng is ordered to wait out of sight with 1,000 cavalry.
An ambush.
Right. And his specific order is to wait until the enemy is physically tired from fighting Mengliang and then strike. Meanwhile, the 6th commander holds another 2,000 cavalry in reserve as backup. It's a brilliant three-stage trap designed to grind the Liao down.
It's the exact same principle they used during the getaway at the pass, just scaled up for a larger engagement.
That makes sense.
Pin the enemy down, exhaust their kinetic energy, and then deliver a fresh, devastating flanking maneuver. It's pure, logical, mechanical military strategy.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, because logic and mechanics are about to get completely thrown out the window.
They really are.
So the battle lines are drawn. Mengliang rides out, wielding this massive giant axe. He calls out Xiao Tianyu, calling him a thief. Xiao Tianyu charges, and they clash. Again, it's a grueling, grinding, fate 30 rounds, no clear winner.
The stamina required for these prolonged engagements continues to be the defining metric of their warfare.
Right, it's all about endurance. But then the battle starts bleeding outward. A Liao general named Yelu Di charges in to make it a 2-on-1 fight against Mengliang.
Which breaks the structure.
Yeah, and Yu Sheng sees this from his hidden position, realizes the trap is failing, and charges out early to intercept.
Yeah.
Suddenly, it's a chaotic four-general melee. Steel is clashing, horses are rearing, the dust is just blinding. In the middle of this chaos, Xiao Tianyu decides he's had enough and fakes a retreat.
A classic feigned flight tactic.
Yeah.
You pretend your lines are breaking and you run, forcing the enemy to break their own defensive formation and chase you carelessly into an exposed position.
And Mengliang completely falls for it.
He takes the bait.
He's addicted to the forward momentum. He chases Xiao Tianyu down, raises his giant axe, and swings it with everything he has, aiming right for Xiao Tianyu's face.
The decisive moment.
This should be the killing blow. It should end the war right here. But the axe doesn't connect. A certain blinding golden light radiates from Xiao Tianyu.
Out of nowhere.
It acts like a literal magical force field.
Yeah.
The massive armor-crushing axe completely fails to harm him. It just bounces off.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this moment represents a massive structural shift in the narrative we are reading.
It's so jarring.
It is. I mean, we've spent all this time analyzing flanking maneuvers, stamina, deep defense, and logistics of cavalry. And suddenly, a magical glowing shield deflects an axe to the face.
It's a total genre shift. It's like you're watching a gritty, boots-on-the-ground World War II documentary, and suddenly a superhero with glowing energy shields just lands in the middle of the battlefield.
It completely upends the rules.
The Song troops completely panic. They rout. They abandon their meticulously planned positions and scatter. Because, I mean, how do you fight a guy who literally glows with invulnerability?
You don't. And that's exactly why the author introduces this magical element in a story that has otherwise been so focused on tactical realism.
So it's symbolic.
Yes. The golden light serves as a narrative metaphor for an insurmountable, asymmetrical advantage. It's the text's way of telling us that brute force has officially reached its absolute limit.
Wow.
No matter how strong Mengliang is, no matter how heavy his axe is, or how much stamina he has, he cannot chop his way out of this specific problem. The rules of the war have fundamentally changed, and physical mechanics are no longer enough to win.
Because the axe couldn't break the magical shield, both sides are forced to realize that head-to-head combat is a dead end. If the Song army's brute force and the Liao army's magical defense just cancel each other out in a stalemate, there's only one path left. You have to completely outsmart the other guy. You have to turn to psychological warfare.
And that pivot toward psychology comes directly from the Liao commander, Xiao Tianyu.
It does.
Even with his magical golden light, he doesn't just march forward blindly. He retreats to his camp and makes a very sobering, highly analytical assessment of the situation.
He does. He gathers his officers and says, look, Mengliang and Yu Sheng are heroic generals. Their troops, he actually calls them fierce bandits, are incredibly capable, aggressive fighters.
He respects their strength.
He really does. Xiao Tianyu openly admits that if they keep fighting in open combat, it's useless. The magic shield keeps him alive, yes, but surviving isn't the same as winning the war. He declares that they must use intellect to defeat them.
It's a fascinating moment of humility and cunning from a commander who literally just survived an axe to the face using magic.
Yeah, you'd think he'd feel invincible.
Right. But he recognizes that his enemy's greatest strength is their sheer fighting spirit, their aggression, and their individual bravery. So his new strategy is to weaponize that exact bravery against them.
Enter the master plan, the Double Dragon Valley Trap. Xiao Tianyu scours the maps and finds this specific location 30 miles away. It's a narrow gorge with steep, dangerous, impassable mountains on both sides.
A deadly terrain choice.
There is only one tiny, winding path through it that leads toward the Yusu wilderness. It's the ultimate geographical bottleneck. There's no foraging, no alternate routes.
It's essentially a coffin made of stone. And Xiao Tianyu's deployment of his troops to spring this trap is chillingly precise and psychological.
It is so calculated. He gives Yeludi 2,000 infantry. Their job, go hide deep inside the valley. They are the bait.
Simple, but effective.
Then he calls up another general, Huan Wexian, and gives them 1,000 cavalry. Their job is even more insidious. They're sent to a place called Yan Pass to plant hundreds of false flags.
The illusion of vulnerability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And mechanically, this means tying branches to horses to kick up dust, lighting extra campfires, and creating the visual illusion of a massive, vulnerable army. But their real job is to wait until the song heroes chase the bait into the valley and then roll massive boulders down the cliffs to block the only exit.
And notice the objective here. Xiao Tianyu does not order his men to engage the Song heroes inside the valley.
No fighting at all.
He explicitly states the goal. Lure them in, seal the exit, and let them starve to death over half a month. He lets the geography do the killing.
So what does this all mean? Why does a medieval starvation trap matter to you listening to this right now?
It's a great point to bring up.
Imagine you're managing a massive project or navigating a career shift, and your competitor just keeps outspending you, or they have some unbeatable technological advantage. That's their magical golden shield.
Right.
What Xiao Tianyu realizes here is exactly what you have to realize in that scenario. You don't keep swinging your axe at a brick wall. You change the terrain.
You change the rules of the game.
Exactly. You stop playing their game. You lure the problem into a space where you control the exits, and you let the environment do the heavy lifting for you. It's essentially a Chinese finger trap.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
The harder Mengliang and Yusheng push forward with their aggressive heroics, the tighter the valley closes around them. Their own kinetic energy springs the lock.
This raises an important question about the vulnerability of the Song troops and really the vulnerability of any high-performing individual who over-indexes on their own strengths.
How do you mean?
Well, Mengliang and Yu Sheng are undisputed heroes. They are aggressive, proactive, and exceptionally brave. But that exact reliance on forward momentum and individual heroics makes them incredibly susceptible to this specific kind of terrain manipulation.
Right, because they can't say no to a fight.
Exactly. The greatest danger to the Song heroes wasn't the Liao's magic. It was their own addiction to the chase. They are so eager to fight, so desperate to prove their bravery, that they will chase an enemy right into a starvation trap without checking their flanks.
They are quite literally too brave for their own good.